hairstylist, Mr. President.
Hairstylist. Oh my god.
You know how they say like one of the this is traditional, but they used to say like a man's best friend is like, or a man's like therapist is like his barber. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like somebody you can go to repeatedly. Well, that barber hate that man. What was Trump thinking, bro? We want him to run our country. We can't even run the top of his scalp, bro.
Is there like a presidential barber, or do you think they just go to somebody like local?
Oh, it's definitely. I mean, it's player's choice.
Like, you think Barack had like a guy in the White House, or do you think he had to like go somewhere in DC to get his hair?
No, Michelle had a second cousin, Ray that needed a job. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh man.
You know I love you, Michelle. I'm tired of living at grandma's house. All right, come through every Thursday.
Trump probably got somebody from Wuhan anyway that didn't tell nobody.
Wow. And she was like, Ray, don't try none of that double lineup shit.
You ever seen that picture of Barack Obama?
He's Democrat now.
Where he's got like the fade, and he's got like the earrings, and he's like licking his lips.
Yes.
Oh man, that's a classic.
The black president everybody was expected.
For real though. Shoot.
You know what's crazy is we think it's so absurd that Kanye and stuff is like trying to be president now, but don't you think like we're headed for crazier times where somebody of even less stature is probably going to get?
Oh, bro, somebody said that we're basically heading into what is it? Idiocracy, the one where Terry Crews is president.
Yes, bro. I'm telling you, we're good. It's not even going to be polls like at an office. It's literally going to be cast your vote, text 00101. You know what I'm saying? And cast your vote like American Idol, literally.
Oh man!
Like I literally think more people voted on American Idol than the presidential election.
That's wild.
That's just me. But maybe we should make these cats sing.
Oh man. There should be like separate divisions, like a art division, like the debate thing, and then there should be like a fight too, like like athletic prowess or something like that. You know, you got to do
celebrity deathmatch. You got all for it,
like a whole obstacle course, and whichever you get points off of that. Like, oh, I mean, he is pretty athletic, you know.
In that case. Go ahead.
I said the crazy part is it's not even Biden versus Trump. It's actually Biden versus Kamala. Because if Biden gets up in there, he ain't lasting more than 8 months. Let's be honest. Go kill over.
I think Barack is putting pressure on Biden. To be honest, he's chilling. They're on speakerphone, just posted. You know what I'm saying? Hey Joe. I really miss my room in the White House. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm not saying that I wouldn't be proud if you didn't win regardless. But I'll beat your ass if you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be something crazy like that.
Behind the scenes, just talking to him all crazy. Joe's all nervous.
Could you imagine?
And you know he's throwing a nigga.
Because I am black. It's probably Michelle applying all the pressure. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Barack,
the real muscle.
Okay, I used to have a walk-in motherfucking closet. Okay, now if we can't get back in, we done. I already got my contract on the O network. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got books coming out.
They got a whole podcast now too, coming to Spotify. It's crazy.
What's up with they? Is their first daughter like 21 plus yet?
I'm pretty sure, but I don't know for a fact though. I know they were kind of tripping on her because she was like smoking marijuana like a couple years ago. But I mean,
not like Barack didn't.
Yeah, I know.
Don't sleep on Barry O. What do you say? Intercepted. Don't sleep on Barry O.
Sleep on Barry O. Oh man,
bruh, let's get to it, man.
All right, man. What's going on, Piglets? It's your boy Taylor B, and I'm joined by my co-host Daniel and Joy. Welcome to another episode of Culture by the Uncultured. And before we go any further, be sure to click that follow or subscribe button. And remember, Culture by the Uncultured is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Culture by the Uncultured. And that's about it. All right, gentlemen. You know, it's been a little bit. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing?
Feeling good. Feeling great. Feeling great. Feeling good. How are you?
I'm gonna appreciate every single Outcast soundbite, bro. I'm feeling good. I finally hit my 30 club. Today's my dad's birthday, and then Daniel's birthday is tomorrow. So shout out to everybody.
It's a ton of birthdays in October for our friend group for sure.
Libra season.
I was thinking about it. Like, man, we're all New Year's babies. Like
Libra season is officially over, and Daniel's birthday is the first day of Scorpio season, where the rest of the signs just kind of ignore it, I guess. Hey, Daniel don't got social media like that, but Scorpio's getting a lot of heat. Daniel, can you maybe say a few words? Like what's up? Why people defend themselves?
I am not the spokesperson for every Scorpio because I am actually a cusp, Libra Scorpio cusp, so I have half and half. So
you heard it here, folks. He's Libra Scorpio crust.
cusp.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, since we've been gone, obviously a lot of news has kind of taken place. There's been championships won, a lot of backlash for certain people, and just kind of messiness all around. First and foremost, I want to give a congratulations to the Los Angeles Lakers for winning the NBA championship. Nice.
Yeah.
LeBron got his fourth ring, right? He says he got plenty of years left, and congrats to those guys. Anthony Davis was his first ring, right?
Yep.
So yeah, that last game was kind of boring. I actually ended up watching it, but it was such a blowout from the jump. So it was a really boring game to watch.
It was, by the numbers, they said it was the least watched finals ever. Literally ever, bro. It was the least watched series.
Yeah,
because people knew, man. They were like, the Lakers, Kobe gone. It's in the bag, son.
Yeah.
Yes,
Not only
sir.
that, the Heat were a formidable opponent at full strength. They weren't at full strength the entire series, so it was just they didn't really have a chance without that factor. So
I knew that second game where Jimmy put it all on the line. I was like, he ain't gonna do that again. That's the Lakers can't get a repeat of that.
Yeah, exactly. The Lakers championship is due to their consistency. They put themselves in the position to win. People say, oh, they had an easy road to the finals. Yeah, they had less difficult series to get by, but if they weren't the number one seed, they wouldn't have gotten that placement in the tournament. So they earned it fair and square, regardless of how everybody feels.
What do you think about the bubble title, that ring? Do you think it's a stronger? It was more competitive or whatever, or do you think it's man, this is kind of this shouldn't really even count?
Go ahead, Daniel.
I said that's a straight up asterisk because number one, nobody had to go to Denver. We talked about JaVale McGee last week running around Denver with asthma and all that. None of these cats had to go run up to Denver and Mile High Stadium, then come back down to LA, then go back up there within 2 days. That's hectic on the body. Nobody had to go from East Coast to Midwest and back and forth like that. That stuff takes time off of the body. That takes time off of your clock. It's you're getting, I forget what it's called, vertigo. Is that you get that if you go too far across in one time or something like that?
The thing in your ears, your dizziness and stuff.
Yeah, that a lot of people get that when they get international flights and all that too. But it happens sometimes when people get on a 3-4 hour flight to go cross country, especially if their body's not prepared to do any of that. You need extra water to be going through different elevations and all that.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I actually feel like the bubble isn't something you can go forward with regular seasons. But I think the bubble is something that may possibly be a part of the playoffs moving forward. Maybe not every round, but possibly championships, the Super Bowl, how it takes place elsewhere. You know what I mean? It really does help out players maximizing their best physical capabilities, because layovers, trying to fly from city to city, especially late in the playoffs when the cities ain't so close, or they might not be so close.
Yeah.
So you don't have to get on a plane, sleep overnight, wake up early still, blah, 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 this and that. In a bubble setting, regardless of whether it's indoors, outdoors, whatever, if you have teams not traveling for the greater, portion of playoffs, you get maximized talent and rest almost all the time. So even though there's less fans or blah, blah, I think, obviously when the pandemic slows down, they might be able to still sell out stadiums. You know what I'm saying? Sell out arenas.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of good from this experience that we're going to get. And honestly, we're barely at the tip of the iceberg with this in sports. So we don't know what to make of the bubble scene yet. But as of now, the Lakers are the bubble champs. You know what I'm saying? The COVID Cup, and right, and also and championships. Now we're in the World Series, which another LA team, the Dodgers, is also in. So I guess what I'm saying is this is the dirtiest year I've ever been a part of. I guess the dirtiest teams are winning. Daniel, what do you think, Daniel? Like dusty year, dusty cup.
Oh my god,
a crappionship.
Obviously I don't really follow basketball that much, but I've heard two different like arguments going for and against the bubble. One going for it was that like the mental toughness, being away from your family and friends, kind of being on lockdown, having to stay disciplined enough to not mess up and like leave the bubble and like kind of hurting your team in that way or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's like that's kind of interesting way to see it, that like you could see it as like, dang, this kind of might mean more than other championships. And I also heard against it saying that the reason, like maybe a part of the reason why some teams may have done way better than normal is because what else do you have to do besides practice? And like you said, maximum rest. So like you're not doing your normal routine of maybe going out, hanging out with like people, going out partying, being an NBA player, and in your whatever big city you live in, you're just staying in your hotel room, maybe playing games, and then like, oh, we're gonna go shoot some hoops. Come with us, come with the team, be part of the team or whatever. Everybody's going to the gym now. Everybody's just shooting around. So a lot of those guys that maybe didn't have the best shot became even better shooters because that's all they were doing: shoot the ball.
The visual aspect of the tight surroundings around the court is just like I hoop a lot. Daniel's hooped a lot. When you play outdoor, you really got to find your stroke to start splashing. You know what I'm saying? Like hit your jump shots. But when you're in a small gym, like a 24-hour fitness or a little like a local YMCA, those buckets just seem to like your vision to the hoop is like on super mode. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something about that smaller environment that helps you get into a flow. And I think that really broadcasted itself. And I get the trials about this season because the pandemic, like being away from family or this and that. But imagine next year where there is no, we couldn't see our families. Well, you're just in a bubble, but your family's here. You got coochie coming up to your room. You got real food. You know what I'm saying? Like take away all the pandemic stuff from being in the bubble and imagine it. Now you're like, well, this ain't so bad because like my whole family's here. My teammates' families are, you know what I'm saying? Like it would be really cool. That's what I'm saying. Like moving forward, we don't know how good or bad it could be, but this year it was definitely some trials. But I do want to make a comment. This was the first year that LeBron said that he left his social media on through the playoffs because obviously he didn't want to be disconnected from his family. Yeah. Now he's now 4-6 in the finals, Daniel.
Yep, 4-6.
So all those other postseasons or the seasons he went to the finals, he was 3-6 when staying off social media. This year he was on social media and he's 1-1. So does the distractions outside of basketball really fucking matter when the best player in the world changed his ways and still won? Or is it because he's the best player? You know what I'm saying? Like we got to witness throughout this time a lot of over dramatized sensitivity with grown-ups, especially in sports. Oh, it's time for us to band together. It's time this, it's time that. Bro, if I felt lonely and I was one of y'all, all I had to do is open my app and peep my bank account. Oops, smiling again. Like, come on, bro. I'm depressed. Who's that? Shut up. Shut up. We know damn well as soon as we got a vaccine, y'all in the top 5% to get one.
Speaking of smiling bank accounts, how about Antonio Brown, huh? I'm sure he's going to be smiling really hard when he gets a contract.
Bro, well, he's going to get a minimal one. You think, Daniel?
He definitely has to get a minimal one because I think his case is still like pending. Like COVID, but everybody forget he was going through something before it all happened and all that. So I'm looking to see. He just got off his 8-game suspension. Teams are going to be like, we don't know what's going to happen with you. Why are we going to give you a 3-year contract? But knowing Pete Carroll, he's probably going to be the super nice guy and just be like, you know what? I'm going to believe in you, buddy. Here's a 3-year contract and $80 million you don't deserve. Come run around and catch 10 passes because Russell Smith or everybody else.
Exactly. The only thing I have a problem with, well, I have two sides to this. One is if you're a good team, like if as a franchise, if we're a winning franchise and our team's good and we're going to get better because of Antonio Brown's talent, we're not worried about him being maybe like a locker room type of issue or outside, because it's like, well, if you want to win, you'll get it together. Normally, that's what I think. You know, it's like, oh, he's got troubles outside, but if he goes to a good team, you got no choice but to get with it or get lost. The problem is, earlier this year, he went to the Patriots. He literally went to the place where all the bad delinquents go and get their life right. See what I'm saying? Like the leftovers that other people didn't want. They go to the Patriots, turn their careers around, and then win a ring and then retire. You know what I'm saying? Like Jerry Rice was on the Raiders before he went to the Patriots and then went and broke records with Tom Brady. Antonio Brown on his first drive caught 6 passes for like 60-something yards and a touchdown and then got suspended.
Randy Moss.
Yeah, true that. So it's like, is it really worth bringing Antonio back? Is he just going to shut up this time? Like, who knows?
He's going to have to absolutely shut up. Just come in there, keep your head down, catch the football when it's thrown to you, shut up when it's not, and just, sit there and let Russell cook. Because Russell's the type of quarterback, he's going to spread it around to everybody. Like you see, he'll run around and extend plays for you. All you got to do is just run around, get open, do your job, and catch the ball. Which is, I'm pretty sure this is a playoff move anyway, because it's guaranteed they're going to make the playoffs, but they want to have an extra weapon just in case of injuries or just for matchup sake. Like if you got to cover DK Metcalf, you got to cover Tyler Lockett, you got to cover Russell Wilson coming out of the backfield when he wants to decide to run, and then you got to turn around and find where Antonio Brown is all at the same time.
I got big news too. They were talking about him possibly going to the Ravens because he worked out with Lamar Jackson in the preseason, and his cousin Hollywood Brown is on the Ravens. But the Ravens today, I believe, are signing Dez Bryant, who's been out the league for like 3 years from the Cowboys.
Heard about that too.
And obviously he's going to be practice squad, but Dez Bryant doesn't come back to the NFL to be on the practice squad. He's going to be on the practice squad for a day and a half, do his COVID test, and he's going to be a Raven too.
Yeah, they just traded for Ngakoue too today.
I think Ngakoue is low-key a locker room sore. We'll see if it gets fixed in Baltimore. There's no reason why the Vikings would have to let him go. He had 5 sacks and 2, I think, forced fumbles this year. Like, that don't make sense, bro. You're going to get rid of your most productive. I don't know. But he was on the Jaguars, which is my team. And I know after he got the franchise tag, his attitude went sour. And I'm guessing the Vikings are normally a team that holds on to their great players. You know what I'm saying? Unless they're a locker room sore. Like now we're seeing Stephon Diggs, who left. We're seeing Stephon Diggs give up on plays on his new team. And their team is good right now. They're leading the division and he's giving up on plays. So what does that tell you about superstars? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to really pay attention. That's why Antonio Brown might be worth it for great teams, really not worth it for good teams, because you're going to ruin continuity and a guy thinks he's going to should get paid more than what he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, football's sketchy already. We know the attitudes that come with football. We've kind of all been like in a football locker room setting at one point. It's definitely not the baseball clubhouse. You know what I'm saying? Like, different cats in there.
Definitely. That's definitely true. Speaking of different cats, I kind of, okay. So I don't really want to go too much into detail about like Chloe K specifically, like in her like face surgery or whatever, because like it's always happening. She always looks different. Big deal, whatever. It's like it's a consistent cycle.
Right? She's a chameleon, transformer. Let's see if she got a new name.
But what I want to get into is, what are your guys' opinions on like on surgery in general? Like, do you like? I feel like most people, for the most part, are like, oh man, why would you do that to yourself? But do you ever think that like maybe like it's more of like a cry for help possibly, or like maybe that person needs therapy, or like maybe that person like faces all kinds of like backlash or ridicule, and that's why they do this to themselves? Like, or do you think that for the most part it's just superficial reasoning?
I think. Honestly, I'm starting to get less and less bothered by it because I think it's just a way of life now. All I know is for sure the people doing it ain't exactly living for a higher purpose, because, I mean, you're slapping God in the face to a degree. So, you know, if you don't appreciate God's paintbrush, then why do I care what you do to yours?
Did J. Cole make Crooked smile for nothing? Like, who was he talking to? I mean, I feel like this is just my opinion. I feel like it's a deeper thing with these people that continue to change their body over and over again. You know, they change their face up. You see that a lot with like actresses. You know, when they start hitting the wall, you know, they decide to, you know, they gotta go get the Botox in there, go get the plastic surgery so they can get another role. Because Hollywood is one of those monsters. I've heard a lot of interviews talk about as soon as you hit a certain age, you start looking a certain way, you're not getting any work anymore. And so I could definitely see that type of pressure where they're just like, hey, I want to keep working. I want to keep making movies. I want to keep living this lavish life that I have. And then I have to change myself. I have to be a chameleon, like Joey was saying, in order to, continue my dream of making money and making movies, TV shows, what have you, there was an old saying I heard that the opposite sex needs to want to have sex with you, and the same sex needs to want to be you. And a lot of that time it's just stuck with, was that cough my cutoff time? But
No.
Okay. But
I just got COVID, that's all,
Oh no.
Oh god.
I'm just playing.
But yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, but a lot of that, is tied to that. I kind of forgot where my point was going there. But
Pete, you said girls should want to fuck us and guys should want to be us.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's one of the things that they say. For people that are going to be on TV, you're going to be on any movies and all that. Like the opposite sex has to want to have sex with you, and the same sex has to want to be you. And if you have to look a certain type of way for that to happen, and I can definitely see them doing that, but it's a Kardashian family. You ain't got nobody to prove anything to anymore. I mean, you guys are taking over the damn world. Let's be honest here. It's you and right next to Trump, pretty much. So I don't understand why she would feel the need to have to do that unless it's something super deep, like a daddy issue or something like that. Or she doesn't feel like she is who she is, and
Yeah, she's OJ's kid.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I was trying to hit hints at that without saying it.
Oh man.
Wow.
That's not the first person in the family that's had identity issues. So we don't really know.
I mean, I kind of feel like kind of like how you said, like I feel like it's a deeper rooted issue most of the time. Like, maybe like for like regular females, maybe sometimes they might have an issue. Like, I'm a huge advocate for Mia Khalifa, right? And actually, I'm about to dig into that. Actually, so that's about to segue into another topic I want to bring up. But let me first start here. I'm a big fan of Mia Khalifa, and when she was in high school, she was a fat girl, and when she went to college, she lost a lot of weight, and then she lost a lot of weight, and her breasts were like kind of, I guess, like obtuse or whatever, or like kind of looked weird because all the weight loss or whatever. So that's why she got like breast augmentation, if you will, or whatever. And then of course she got tagged to go on and so on and so forth. So I feel like sometimes it might be like a societal thing or like body issues, like smaller ones, not like so much like I need this, like, oh my gosh, like I need this, like, I want people just to look at me all the time and like, and just like look at my chest or whatever. Cause I feel like girls probably get more annoyed by that than anything, but I feel like it's more of like I want to feel more comfortable in my own skin because of like, whatever, like people tend to like acknowledge women more when they have larger breasts or something, or because of they have some kind of disfigurement, or they feel like they have some kind of issue with their own breasts. So like, okay, I want to change it, make them look bigger, make them look more whatever, perky, whatever that case may be. You know what I'm saying? So, and then also, of course, I feel like when it comes to like other surgeries too, like facial reconstructive surgery, all that other things, like, I mean, hell, Kylie Jenner, for example, she doesn't even look like the same kid anymore. You know what I mean? Most of the time you look like you do when you grow up. You look like an older version of yourself when you grow up, and she doesn't look like herself at all. I think what Kim Kardashian posted a picture of Kylie and then was like, OMG, delete it. And then she was like, what do you want me to clip it or something like that? Like, should I give you the Diddy cut or whatever? Because she cut somebody out of a picture. He cut somebody out of a picture a while ago. I can't remember who it was, but it's just like, dang, like she's so ashamed of like her look or how she used to look that like, like she doesn't want anybody to see it, which is crazy because it's like
that's wild,
yeah,
right?
Like you should.
It's like normally when people, whether it's how whatever aspect you want to see it, but wherever you come from, if you're not proud of that or you want to improve, wherever you're at, you always kind of want people to, like, if you're going to show out, have people appreciate your journey the way you did. But for some reason, when what you're changing is your fucking face. Then all of a sudden it's, oh no, don't see me like this. Don't see, bro. I'm big. If I lose weight, I'm gonna show people pictures of me when I was big. Like, yeah, bro, that's how I started. This is where I'm at. Don't see that. Don't look at that. Don't look at it. Like, what, bro? Like, what about kids that win trophies? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is your, I'm better at this sport now, but I don't want to show you videos of when I used to suck. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's that? You wasn't with me shooting in the gym moment.
Yeah.
And there isn't one. That right there alone proves that you changing your appearance. I'm not going to jump on the boat of saying it's just a mental disorder, blah, blah. People have their reasons, whatever, it's the new age. But what I will say is a part of you didn't take the time. Well, you tried to, but a big part of you didn't take the time to really appreciate the adjustments that we make as life, because life isn't about the outcome. It's about the ride. You know what I'm saying? If you don't enjoy it, you don't got nothing. So I guess some people see it as, I'd rather enjoy it looking how I want to look. You know what I'm saying? So if I take that perspective, I guess I could understand, but there's deep morality or lack of morality to not liking who you actually are. And that's something that's going to be really hard for me to change my mind about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit in front of somebody's face and say, oh, you hate yourself. You fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, right? Like, I can't do that, right? Like, I just can't do that.
You look like a whole asshole.
Exactly. But that's because I'm respectful. I have sense. I know how to be cordial. You know what I'm saying? And the best we can do is just respect people for their decisions. But they can't get mad when a motherfucker walk past me and I giggle a little bit. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna get mad about? You look exactly how you want to look.
Bro, the BBLs be looking wild, bro. The Brazilian butt lift surgeries, I don't know what y'all be thinking.
It's just so
it looks silly.
Outrageous.
It don't match. What you doing?
And what these people don't realize is, it's not like tattoos where when you get old, it still might look okay. Your skin's gonna sag, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Does this generation of people think that once you hit 40, you're automatically like done? Because if some of these people turn out to be 60, 70, got 80 years old, how the fuck is you gonna look with some saggy ass old skin and some tight ass round buns and big old perky titties, but the rest of your body don't look like that, bro? Like, come on. Then you're just gonna keep adjusting. Fine, your body is a vehicle. And I get it, but that doesn't mean you got to keep taking it to the auto body. You feel me? All that means is put oil in it, give it the right food type of stuff, take care of it.
Take care of the engine, not just the body.
Right, bro. Like, I don't understand. You can't take a Ford Fiesta and put it inside of a Lambo casing and think it's going to go 160. Bro, that's not how it goes. Jeez, bro. Honestly, I go on little tirades on social media about this, and I invite the people, oh, you got your butt did? Let me see it. Oh, you got this done? Let me see it. Now, why is this better than that? Because social standards say that you're more attractive this way? Well, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Fake booty don't wiggle like the real shit, and that's something I appreciate. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just fake shit, bro. Literally fake shit. Like, I'm not with it.
I feel you.
Yeah, you guys remember that old song by John Mayer? He was talking about your body's a wonderland.
Yeah. This is not what he was talking about. Shoot.
Yeah, I did notice that though. I did notice the Chloe K. I mean, they denied that OJ is her daddy, but every year she getting procedures done to look more and more like him. So I don't know what the deal is, but
for real.
Somebody put her picture next to an old Beyonce photo, and they're like, right.
You did not look like this 2 years ago. What?
Straight up, bro. Crazy.
Like I said before, too, I am a big Mia Khalifa fan, and I just kind of want to let the people know about this real quick. It's something really silly, actually, but it kind of makes me laugh. So, as I think I've mentioned this already, Mia Khalifa started OnlyFans, but it's like more just like modeling instead of just like, her doing like wild stuff like butt ass naked or something. So she started a new Instagram page where it's just basically her posting DMs from the OnlyFans, and it's basically like guys saying like, oh, like what a scam, like I thought you were gonna be naked, and then or like just saying something rude like, oh, I want to see like your pussy or something, just like talking to her mad wild, right?
Like she don't got videos
Yeah, like that's funny because that's what everybody says. Like, bro, like Pornhub's free, bro. Like, what are you doing, fam? But like, she'll respond and she'll be like one guy said, I think he said something like, "Oh, I want to see your pussy, babe," and she was like, "Oh, I want to see your skull caved in," and I was like, "Well, damn, like that's the kind of energy she bringing." Like, but it's funny just to see all these like guys say like whatever random things, and then she like responds like in a super like critical way, and it's just like that's kind of funny. Like, but it also kind of shows you like the power of like the simp or simping or whatever, or I don't even know what do you call the person that's in charge of the simps or whatever, like the simp handler? Is that what she is? Like, I don't know, but like, but what I'm trying to say is like her ability to like talk to these simps any way she wants. And then some people started pointing out like they think that people are doing this now on purpose just so like they'll be like showcased on her Instagram. Like, oh my gosh, that was my comment. That was my comment, bro. Like that's it's hilarious.
Definitely.
And it's just like it's crazy that I'm sure like the first couple were probably real, and then people thought like, oh, I thought you were gonna get butt naked and do some wild shit or whatever, and she was like, no, and then she started getting all like, you know, ballsy and was like, oh, I'm gonna just do this instead. But now it's like you just basically made, I'm sure it's gonna work too. You basically somehow were able to market negativity in your DMs and market that to try to potentially bring in more revenue to that site, which is like insane. Like the way like business minded people, like I'm starting to see more and more shit like this like every day. Like, damn, like because you do this, you can do that. Like let's take David for example, right? Our good friend of the show, right? He's a bartender, and he can do so much with that craft alone just because of that skill or whatever, right? Like, so obviously he can go and bartend at a bar if he wanted to get tips and make money that way, right? Which is like, that's what normal people who know how to make drinks do, right? But he's also but he has like a regular job, and he grinds by going to attend weddings and stuff like that. He has his own business, right? And he's selling, well, allegedly he is selling mixed drinks now. So it's just like, bro, like you can, like, business minded people be finding a way. It's like, it's hustlers, bro, like hustlers for real. And I keep trying to tell myself like, man, I gotta find me a hustle too. Like, jobs are cool and all, and like that's like the old school or whatever, but it's like hustles, like that gets you the come up. And I'm like, I just get to get my niche in there. And I'm just like, I keep thinking of all these different ideas. Obviously with the podcast, I would hope that can become my hustle one day, but eventually if everything goes right, this would just be like my main job, if anything, not really a hustle, you know. I feel like merch or something like that would be more of a hustle, you know, something like that, like stickers, anything that we can do like with our brand or whatever. That would be the hustle. This would be the job, you know. But I just think it's so kind of like, well, because I'm a fan of hers or whatever, I just think it's kind of cool to kind of see like how like these little things, and it's like I bet a lot of people don't even think about it like that. Like, they're not thinking about the fact that that's probably bringing her more revenue because more people want to be showcased on her other Instagram or whatever. So I mean, it's just an interesting thing.
Well, I mean, Joey gave you an idea like a month ago. I'm pretty sure he was serious, but you didn't take it.
What idea?
He was like, you should start an OnlyFans, bro.
Oh my
god. Hey, actually, touching back on that, but before Mia Khalifa even has a chance to clap back and blah, 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 that's just a simple reminder that nowadays everything you do is recorded.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Or it goes on to your, you know what I'm saying? Like, things that I do that other people don't know about, that's off the record. You know what I'm saying? So like, guys, somebody goes to prison for a certain reason. If you do your time and you come out and you're no longer that type of person to do that, people would still label you a criminal because you've done that before.
Yes,
even though to present date, you are no longer a criminal. So in the same fashion, Mia Khalifa was a adult film industry actress. Even though she's not doing that anymore, it's called risque for a reason.
Yep.
Like, it's risky business, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want that to come back to you, don't do it.
Yep.
So those are decisions where it's like, yeah, we can talk about this and that, and people might be crazy, but ultimately you open the door for those weirdos to walk in long time ago. So I can't feel sorry for you. You got to be mentally tougher for that. Those businesses, stripping, porno, drug dealing, anything that's either risky, illegal, or anything that kind of goes against like your personal morality or nature or, you know, secrecy, anything that goes against those type of, you know, personal type of morality rules and things like that, all of those, you understand that you're setting all that to the side for your personal gain.
Yep.
And if anybody says otherwise, they're lying to you and they're lying to themselves. It's that simple.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel sorry for her or any other girl who's being coming at rude, or guys who do stupid shit and people are coming. Like, think about this. Guys who I can't find an example, but like if I was a thief, like if I used to steal cars and I went to jail for it and I come out, man, you steal cars, can you do this, can you do that? I was like, bro, that's old me, that's not me. But I can understand why people would come up to me and ask.
That sounds like every Fast and Furious movie. Wait a minute.
Yeah, and you're right. And speaking of which, they finally dropped. They said that it was going to be 2 more movies, and they're done with it.
Yep. Oh, Fast 11. It's supposed to go to Fast 11, and then they'll be done with it. And the guy who directed, I think 4 or 5 of the movies, I forget his name off the top of my head, but he's actually set to be the director for the final 2 films.
Nice. We're getting The Rock versus Toretto again, or no?
I doubt it. I don't know where they're going to go. I know that the 9th for Fast 9, they're supposed to go to space, supposedly. That's like the leaked rumor.
What?
But for 10 and 11, I have no idea what they're going to do for 10 and 11. I can't even imagine it, honestly. But I had a great segue because you were talking about recorded conversations, and I totally wanted to bring up the fact that, in case you guys didn't know now, folks, the PlayStation Party is recording your conversations. It's a feature that will also be in PlayStation 5, and it's basically used because they want to basically moderate conversations or whatever. Like if people are being cyberbullied essentially or something like that, they want to be able to if you want, you could basically report somebody talking to you like super wild or whatever. So I also want to bring this up too, and I don't even know how this is possible. Sometime last year, me and my boy Hendo, shout out Hendo, we were in a PlayStation party, right? I don't remember what game we were playing, but we were just the 2 of us, and the party was open for if anybody wanted to join or whatever, right? Public party usually means open to your friends. A private party means you need to be invited to the party by even if your friends can't just join, they have to be invited, right? So 2 random people that were not on either of our friends list somehow joined our party, and it was the creepiest thing ever. They were kids. So we didn't really say anything, but they were just like, your party's public. And we were just like, yeah, we know that, but that doesn't mean you can join it. That's not how that works. You have to be on our friends list to join the party. How the hell did you join this party? It was just the weirdest thing ever. And then they just ended up leaving after we were trying to explain, this doesn't make any sense. How are you guys able to do this or whatever? And I was just like, dang, that's super crazy. If that is possible, that's a feature I definitely didn't know about. But yeah, PlayStation is recording our conversations now, probably the feds more than likely, and not just PlayStation itself. And actually, the PlayStation interface has kind of been ruined because there was an update to the PlayStation interface for the party system, and a lot of fans have expressed their discontent with the service now. And hopefully they'll change it back or do something, because having to send a message to a group of people every time, to get to a party instead of just starting a party and then joining one or whatever, and then you can't even see parties that are already available to join a party or whatever anymore. It's a mess right now, and I hope they fix it soon because it's freaking annoying as hell.
They're doing anything to make sure you get that PS5, huh? Yep.
I know, right? For real. Since we're already here anyways in games, I'm gonna just drop some game news for everybody real quick. I don't know if you guys know this, but Call of Duty Warzone is now going through a Halloween event. They have I don't know if they dropped the skins yet, but they're dropping a Leatherface skin and a Jigsaw skin for players.
It's out, bro.
It's out, okay.
And it's fire.
And then there's jump scares, and it's like the map is darker or whatever. So it's it's got a little Halloween theme to it. Go ahead and check that out if you guys are Call of Duty fans. 2 more little tidbits of gaming news. A new text conversation between Miles Morales and Peter Parker has been uploaded. It's obviously a little precursor to the Miles Morales Spider-Man expansion for Spider-Man for PlayStation. It basically shows that Peter Parker and Mary Jane are away, on a vacation or something, and Miles has moved to Harlem, and he's patrolling the area of Harlem. He's new to the area, and his mom, I believe, is running for mayor or something. So that's kind of why he's doing his thing or whatever out in Harlem. He's trying to learn the area, and keep an eye out on stuff. He's reporting back to Peter. They're both obviously Spider-Man. So that's kind of where we're at. I guess that's why Spider-Man isn't, or Peter Parker isn't actually in the game, it looks like, just because he's away. So it kind of makes more sense now in that aspect, at least. Some people thought he might have been dead, in the regular story or something, but it just looks like he's just away for right now. And then finally, the Avengers game that came out recently, also for PlayStation. Oh, I think it's for all systems, but I think it was made by Sony, or was it made by Square Enix? I forget. Anyway, the Avengers pushed back the Hawkeye DLC. Basically, it was supposed to come out this month, and because of updating things and trying to fix the gameplay experience and stuff like that, they're trying to take into consideration all the fans who've been playing and feedback or whatever. They're trying to make it a more enjoyable experience, and so that more people will want to play or continue playing before they release the next character, which is cool because I mean it is nice to see game creators taking in fan feedback and kind of understanding like, oh, this is repetitive, this is boring, or whatever, and doing whatever they can to kind of make adjustments to the games in general or whatever, right? This isn't on the docket, but this is something that I saw on Facebook a little bit earlier. Borderlands 3, which I hella want to go back to because all the DLC for Season 1 has come out, and I kind of want to test it out. So Borderlands 3 is getting a Season 2 for their DLC, and instead of getting new characters, which was the case for Borderlands 2, it looks like they're not going to do that at all, but instead they're going to add a 4th skill tree for all of the current Vault Hunters. Amara is getting like this new like circle orb that she can like push around and stuff. Zane is getting a new shoulder-mounted cannon. Mose is getting, it's called the Iron Cub instead of like the Iron, I think like the Iron Bear or whatever, that big like tank thing she gets in. It's like a little version that like walks around with you instead of you walking around inside the Iron Bear or whatever. And then I don't know what Flack's new thing is, but so they're all getting a 4 skill tree, which is kind of cool. You know, it's different definitely than Borderlands 1 and 2, so that's welcome. And I'm sure, I'm not sure, but hopefully the rest of the DLCs for Season 2 will also be pretty good as well. And that's pretty much it for the gaming news. Where were we? Because a lot of stuff has happened since we've been gone, man. I mean, you brought up Shaka Khan, Joey, and how she's hella dissed Ariana Grande.
Did you get any information on that? Like, how did that start?
I guess it was the only thing I saw was that she was in her interview, and they asked her about other female artists or whatever, and I guess Ariana Grande was brought up, and then I guess she just said fuck her or something like that. She has no intention of working with any of like the female artists or whatever, or any like current female artists.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, like really, I feel like the old school chicks, like the old school female chicks,
divas.
They're the divas, bro. Like the bad bitches of today, they have no idea what they've gotten themselves into, bro. Like they're acting ratchet and this and that. The other girls did all of their what I want to like peacocking, you know what I'm saying? Like you showing out. The older divas did that with their music.
Yeah.
These girls of today don't do it that way. They talk like they say reckless things, but then they swear they're like they want to be loved and blah blah this and that. Them old school chicks wear it on their sleeves, bro. And Shaka Khan saying some shit like "fuck you" to Ariana, like let's keep it real. Like, are we all in agreement here? Fuck Ariana. Like, do we all feel that way too? Or?
I don't feel that way.
I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to. Rest in peace, Mac Miller. But you know, it's just kind of weird. Like, what was the premise from that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what really happened beforehand? Obviously, I don't think anything happened. I think maybe she was just off her meds and a little.
I'm thinking maybe it had something to do with maybe a sample or something like that she didn't pay for. That's the nice side of me saying, "Oh, that's what it was." That's something to do with that. The evil side of me, though, the evil side of me thinks that maybe she's just jealous of her.
Ooh,
I don't know.
I ain't gonna hold you. I mean, Ariana Grande got some pipes. I could never take that away from her. That she can sing. That girl can sing.
I mean, I get it, but it's a big age gap, bro. Like Shaka would have to be super salty. I think it was more like the interviews about me right now. Why are you bringing up other people I don't care about? Like, girl, fuck her. Maybe it was like that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Don't forget, Shaka to a degree isn't so nice. I mean, she got that song called Through the Fire. Now, I know it's probably like, I'll go through the fire for you. Like, no, bitch, I'm about to put you through a fire. You know what I'm saying? And she got that song Sweet Thing with Rufus, but she's anything but sweet, I promise you.
You know
speaking of, she got that.
Speaking of people who aren't anything but sweet, Ice Cube real quick.
Oh, jeez.
A lot of people was trying him like they thought he was sweet.
Right.
God damn. I'm glad y'all set it off.
So basically, earlier this week, and I guess part of last week, Ice Cube kind of got was basically being canceled, or like there's no way to really cancel Ice Cube, but a lot has been happening.
Hell no.
So
motherfucker about to flame everybody in his next album, bro. You think No Vaseline was bad? Oh, you got something.
So a lot of people basically, Ice Cube has kind of been advocating for an agreement or deal with Black America for a while, and I think he calls it the Platinum Plan, if I'm not mistaken. And basically, he's trying to look for, like, he doesn't see like a plan for Black America between either the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. And,
absolutely not.
And he's trying to figure out, where our people kind of fall in this or whatever, right? And I guess upon speaking to somebody that's part of, Donald Trump's group or cabinet or whatever, there was a meeting that was supposed to be held where he was going to talk to Donald Trump, and they were going to maybe try to work something out as far as a plan is concerned, right? Unfortunately, though, obviously, Donald Trump's group used that to their own personal gain. Like, oh, look who we're talking to, kind of made it appear a certain way. And a lot of people were like, oh, when money gets involved or whatever, you turn coat and now you're with them or whatever. So a lot of people basically said oh, he endorsed Donald Trump, which, to clarify, Ice Cube never endorsed Donald Trump. I don't even think he got the chance to go to the meeting. It was just a big mess. I think he was supposed to have an interview with Cuomo on CNN, and then the powers that be, I guess, said that he can't do it or whatever. He's banned from CNN supposedly and all this stuff. And so it was just so much things going on. And then I guess recently, Donald Trump's son posted a pic on Twitter. And this comes also after 50 Cent said oh, fuck Joe Biden. He was trying to this crazy tax plan, which I guess isn't even real. It was 62% in California, New York, and some other place or whatever. He was he's crazy. Fuck that. I'm going with Don or whatever. And then so people took that as an endorsement of Donald Trump, which I could see that being an endorsement versus what Ice Cube did, obviously, right? So
I still wouldn't be mad at 50 Cent.
Yeah, I mean, 50 Cent's a clown.
If he gave a reason why, but even so, if he gave a reason as to why he's choosing up, that's part of voting.
Yeah, exactly. So after that happened, after those two things happened, Donald Trump's son posted a picture on Twitter of Ice Cube and 50 Cent, and I guess they were at a basketball game. It's an old picture, and it was definitely photoshopped. They both had on Keep America Great hats, and I don't know if this is real, and I should have looked to check to verify this, but another post was made where it was Ice Cube supposedly retweeted that picture and said, "Nigga, please."
Yeah,
so which is super wild and super crazy, and it's funny too because obviously the picture was fake, but Donald Trump's son really retweeted that picture, you know what I mean, and said two outstanding Americans or whatever, and it's just it's so crazy how and I want to kind of bring this up too, because it was brought up on Joe Budden podcast, and I just thought it was an interesting concept. They kind of talked about how they don't think that it was good timing, one, for Ice Cube to do what he did, because it set him up to unfortunately be used as somewhat of a pawn, in the game of voting and all that stuff, for numbers or whatever. And then it also, what did he realistically expect to happen with 16 days left in an election, with Donald Trump? Which, I mean, if the plan did work, that'd be cool. If Donald Trump stays in office and there was a plan with us, cool, fine, whatever. All right, this worked out, cool. We got he got what he wanted to get. Mm-hmm. It's all fair. All's fair, love and war, and all that jazz. But this, I had mentioned to you guys too off mic that I would like to see him continue with this talk and whatever. And regardless of who goes into office, I want to see him try to pursue that with that president, whatever.
That's what he did, and that's how it should be. What he did was, he has a plan, and what he did was he went to both camps. He sent them an email, letter, however it goes. He sent Biden's camp something. He sent Trump's camp something. Biden's team got back and said, if we win, we'll holla. Trump's team said, oh, Ice Cube's reaching out to us. Let's lock him in as an endorsement. So that's where it got to it. That's where Ice Cube was like, I never advocate for this clown. You know what I'm saying? That's not... This the reason why this upsets me so much is because this stuff happens in the street all the time.
Yeah,
this is everyday stuff that happens, but because it's on a higher scale, and these people, honestly, don't you think Ice Cube would make a better president than Kanye West?
Absolutely.
Yet we still haven't canceled Kanye for all the crazy shit he's done, right?
Yeah.
But people are willing to do that for Ice Cube when he's literally trying to do the work of all the people we give praise to in, Black America.
It's not just on
in
camera
history
having
and
breakdowns
progression.
and crying and just being crazy.
Exactly. You think Martin Luther King wouldn't be reaching out to both presidents as well? Come on, bro. Like that's what is so bothersome about this. People live for the drama that even when real great things can be happening, it just gets the side eye. And I hate that shit. I'm really over that shit. I think turning 30 did something to me, bro. I got this old head wisdom.
Oh man. What's next? I mean, you want to talk about the Wiz Khalifa restaurant opening up in multiple locations? Wiz Khalifa got a whole restaurant called Hot Box. Genius marketing idea. I mean, obviously Hot Box kind of referencing like his love for marijuana, and then who doesn't want to go to a restaurant that's made by Wiz Khalifa? Hopefully the food's good, but
I think it's delivery only. It's delivery only
restaurant. Probably for right now, for sure. Yeah. Is that like his thing? Period, or is that like just because of COVID?
Think of it. The pandemic literally made delivery services boom. So it's like, why even have a restaurant where people come in? Like, most of my people is going to be high. What I recommend is check out the menu, order something, smoke 3 to 17 blunts, and then it'll finally get to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's a great idea. His food on there looks really good as well. I haven't ordered from there yet, but there's not too many locations. There's only like 6 or something so far.
You said there was like one in San Diego, right?
There is one in San Diego.
Okay.
I looked it up. Wiz Khalifa launched Hot Box by Wiz on October 1st as a chain with locations in LA, San Diego, Los Angeles, not Louisiana, San Diego, Chicago, Denver, Houston, New York City, and his hometown of Pittsburgh.
What kind of a restaurant is it? What kind of food he sell?
Bro, it's probably munchies. It's a bunch of type of wings, and
I bet.
I could look the stuff up, but I did take a peek of once or twice. It was a few weeks ago, but it looked pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It looked pretty good. And one thing I know about Wiz is I've smoked some of Wiz Khalifa's marijuana before.
Allegedly.
No, I smoked that shit. And very high quality. So this dude does not play about his business. So my guess is it's fire, and I'm just gonna have to try it and report back. Nice.
I want to try some too. This shit look. If anybody who's working with marijuana and food, I'm in there.
It's not medicated food though.
No. I'm not thinking that, but I'm just like people make bomb ass food when they're high. So I can only imagine the ideas he had for like the restaurant menu. There's probably some good food.
Bro, it's probably a menu from all those times he was high. His mind just turned to his homie like, bro, you know what sounds good right now? That's what's on the menu.
Real,
all right, right.
We got a lot of music that came out. I only listened to one album this past week, man, and that was the Benny the Butcher album, Burden of Proof. It's super dope, super fire. I don't really know what else to say besides that. I mean, obviously,
I took a listen. I liked it as well. I listened. What you mean you're not sure? Listen to the Burden of Proof. That was a good album.
I think my favorite song on there was probably One Way Flight featuring Freddie Gibbs. It was the whole album was great. I liked his skits in there too. Where like the one guy is talking like this, and then the one guy's talking like this, talking back like, "Hey, you got that out? You got that beat in there for me?" He's like, "I'm working on the Benny the Butcher album." Like, that shit was funny, man.
It was good. My favorite album that recently came out was New Beginnings by Reason. It got TDE vibes all over it, bro. It made me feel like I was back listening to early like Kendrick and J-Rock and stuff. So I fuck with it tough. I got to see Reason live. I think like I know for sure too. I'm not sure if it was 3 times, but I saw him live twice before kind of the ascension, you know what I'm saying? And now that he's up there rapping with the best of them, getting good features and stuff, I'm excited for him. So it's a good album for hip hop heads out there too.
Absolutely. I also another album that came out was Streams of Thought Volume 3 by Black Dot. The Libra album came out by T.I. So it sucks because when music comes out and I hate when I like hear an album and I love it, and then it's so hard to try to listen to something else right after that. So like I literally clicked on the T.I. album and then clicked back on a song by Benny the Butcher, and then I was like, dang, I didn't even listen to the damn T.I. album. I meant to listen to it. Same thing for like Reason. I didn't even click on Reason's album. I was like, dang, I need to listen to these albums to like to get the vibe check, see what songs I like
in due time.
Facts.
In due time, bro. It's gonna happen. Music is a vibe. Don't force it.
That's true. Also, a single was dropped by IDK called King Alfred. There's actually, I think tonight there's a couple albums dropping too. I wish I would have wrote them down, but I know Joyner Lucas is dropping his album Evolution tonight. He has a video and a song called Snitch right now, where he kind of brings back the duality rap that he does. He plays like a lawyer and like a cop that's like like talking to like a defendant of some sort or whatever, and like in one of those like one of those rooms or whatever. So that it'll be it's I'm sure it'll be great. It looks like he's coming pretty strong, and I'm still wondering if he's going to reveal to us what that social experiment was, because I feel like the social experiment, like if I have an inkling of what it was, it might be the social experiment was to see how people react to music that they've kind of been introduced to with a couple new songs versus surprise drops or whatever, or like albums that just come out and you don't hear none of the music or whatever, because they have a whole lot of promo for this new album that's coming out, and I'm sure it's going to do. I get the vibe that it's going to be great, especially because his son is like, it's like his son's face on his body on the cover. So I'm feeling it or whatever. He's got his own little style, and I love it. Joyner Lucas has always been pretty dope. Even though that last album wasn't the greatest to me, but I definitely appreciate him as an artist at 100%. Going into some movies, go ahead.
Real quick. I think we're probably, or at least, we're probably going to enjoy this album a little more than the last one. Because remember, our issue with the last one was, you dropped the album, but we heard these songs come out little by little by little for the last like 15 months.
Yeah.
So it was nothing sparking new. Not to say it wasn't good still, but you're missing that spark from when you listen to a new album. Like, exactly. Oh, dang, like these drums is dope. This is a different flow from what I'm used to, this and that. But it's like, bro, I've been listening to this all summer. Like, the album finally dropped, but it's like, you know what I'm saying?
I already got all these songs. Where are the new ones?
You know what I mean? It's like people like the people in the fashion, or like you got a homie who sells clothes and his line hasn't dropped yet, but you've been rocking his shit for 3 months already. So when the shit dropped, you're like, bro, you got anything else yet? Not in a bad way, but it's just regular, like, it's like that with everything.
I appreciate him giving us, the artwork for the album at least. Oh wait, we had that already too. Never mind.
Oh my gosh. Man.
Which reminds me, make sure y'all got y'all list ready, because it's coming towards the end of the year. We're gonna have to get our top albums. We're gonna have to run it back. I know mine's done changed for sure. There's a couple albums that are probably gonna put in there that are in the running for top, and we're probably gonna do.
Which reminds me, a few weeks ago, J. Cole said he's dropping music this year, and just a few days ago, Top Dog from TDE was on Twitter, and every day people are like, yo, when is Kendrick dropping soon? He's like, actually, yeah, soon. And they're like, what? And he's like, yeah, soon. So Kendrick dropping this year too, so I'm not making that list until
Drake was supposed to drop an album too in the summer. He's a liar. Summer's over and there's still no album. So where's that, Drake?
Honestly, but honestly, nobody's pressuring Drake to drop something, because he's going to do it regardless. He's going to find a new fad and do a single here and there and find the new wave of artists and try to put them on. Like, we're used to Drake. You know what I'm saying? Like, Drake is, and whether you like him or not, Drake's going to make hits and he's relevant still. So he's not somebody I got my ears out open for, because it's going to find its way around.
For sure. Also, shout out to Kendrick, because I guess today marks the 8-year anniversary of Good Kid, Mad City. And that was, yes, sir. Should have won a Grammy.
Literally, it's the longest lasting rap/hip hop album to be on the top. What is it?
Top 200. The top 200. Yeah.
And I have it in vinyl, and I'm trying to get it signed. You know what I'm saying? So like, iconic rap album. I would say top 10 all time. And the fact that we got to live through it, bro, great stuff. Great stuff.
So Cole is dropping and Kendrick is dropping. Are we finally getting that collab album?
No.
That's never happening.
That's never happening.
And honestly, do people really want that? Like, not. but they already had a few songs. Like you got to understand, them as individuals, they're such strong wavelengths and flows. Like it's like for us, it's like playing Madden, with like the fantasy draft. We're just trying to create all these things that we want, but really, it's like, am I getting the best from both of them if they all have to give up a verse? Like I want songs where J. Cole got 3 verses on it. I want songs where Kendrick got 3 verses on it. Working together is cool, but like I need more of both of them. Unless every song.
Well, I mean, they don't have to rap. Somebody can be like, "Hey, I produced this third of the album. Kendrick produced this third of the album. These are his beat selection. This is my beat selection. This is his vision on my beat." I mean, stuff like they could go a bunch of different ways with this collab.
Kind of like that.
That sounds a lot like pleasing everybody. That sounds like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That sounds more like pleasing everybody and getting away from your artistic instinct. I don't know. I'm just not mad if they never do it. That's what I'm saying.
Moving on to movies real quick too. We got a bunch of news in the movie realm. A lot of actually. Monster Hunters. The first full trailer was finally released. Not excited about it still. I don't know why this is happening. A lot of people are kind of like feel the same way actually, but like a lot of people are probably still going to check it out just because it's Monster Hunter and it's a very popular gaming franchise, especially in Japan, let alone and also in America. It's become more popular recently, obviously, but yeah, go ahead and check that out. It's available on YouTube. Michael B. Jordan is set to produce a as you guys know him, Static Shock movie for DC Comics. I'm super curious as to where this is going to go because obviously there is a slew of DC Comics films already, mainly focusing on the Justice League, and 9 times out of 10, Static's a younger character, so I am very curious as to where this is going to come or fall in line with like the rest of the movies. Especially Wonder Woman 2 hasn't come out yet. I know they want to make another.
Who's going to be playing? Who's going to be playing?
I don't think they've released like any kind of details like that so far. Some people have obviously done like fan casting or whatever, to say like, oh, yeah, this guy or that guy or whatever. But I have no idea. Same thing for like Miles Morales. A lot of people want to see him come into the Spider-Man realm, which is another thing that people might be looking at too. Spider-Man 3, there was rumors going around saying that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were tapped to have roles in Spider-Man 3. Unfortunately, so far that is not confirmed to be true. A lot of people think that it's going to happen still, though. A lot of it is rumors. Nothing really concrete to say like, oh, it's going to happen. Not even like them saying like, oh, we're in talks or anything like that. So we'll see if that happens. There's for sure going to be a multiverse probably introduced in Spider-Man 3 that most of us are going to be looking forward to. And once it comes, there's a good possibility Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield could be a part of the movie. We don't know yet, though, for sure. We definitely don't know yet. Which also, by the way, the first footage for... not footage, but the first like on-screen like pictures or whatever for Nathan Drake, which Tom Holland is going to be in, have been revealed. Tom Holland still looks like a little boy. I don't know why they casted him to play Nathan Drake. I don't think he'll ever look like anything but maybe a 17, 18-year-old kid. So but whatever. What else we got here? Oh, new Power Rangers movie dropping. They're doing a Power Rangers reboot. So there was a movie dropped in 2017 for the Power Rangers. Now they're doing a reboot that is supposedly going to be it's going to be connected to the TV shows and other stuff. So we'll maybe potentially see a sort of Power Rangers multiverse going on. That'll be kind of interesting to see if that actually, takes place. And then last but not least, we got the Justice League reshoots, which I kind of wanted your guys' opinion on just because I don't know that you guys are like big DC fans or anything like that, but this is kind of a weird scenario, right? So we first heard about the Snyder Cut a couple years ago, saying that there was a Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League film, which was supposedly like way better than the original film that we got in 2018, I think, 2018, I think is when that movie came out. It was supposed to be way better, and people would be like, "Oh, release the Snyder cut," and it kept getting pushed. And so we're thinking that there's just like this film that's in there that just wasn't ever released or maybe like somewhat unedited or something. But they let us know that it's not as simple as just saying like there's like some footage in a vault somewhere and pull it out and play it or whatever. It's like basically more so his ideas versus the actual movie itself. So now they're doing what they call reshoots, which is not reshoots. It's literal additional footage for the film. So they got I think $20 or $30 million to all the people from the movie are coming back to play their roles again. and they're going to do it the way that Zack Snyder originally envisioned it to be done, right? And Jared Leto, who wasn't in the movie originally, is set to actually come back as the Joker from Suicide Squad and set to make an appearance in this film as well, which is super interesting just because he wasn't a part of the movie. I don't know what he's going to be doing in the movie. I don't really have high hopes for it because I didn't like the Joker personally, Jared Leto's version of the Joker. So, I mean, they're amping it up and hyping it up to make it seem really cool or whatever, but there's a good chance that this will just be another flop for the DC fans, especially considering it's a movie that's already been done. But hey, maybe this will become like the official version and people will forget about the old one if it's good enough. I don't know, but only time will tell, right? And that's pretty much all I got for all the news that we were talking about today. Oh, shit, I meant to say, yeah. So what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about these additional shoots for an old film that's already been done? It's not like a reboot. It's the same movie, but just with more footage or different footage.
Why can't that just be downloaded with content?
That's actually an interesting thought. That's an interesting thought.
To me, like, you're just doing it for fun. Like, that's just some nerdy shit. Like, from my perspective, it's just like, who cares?
But what you posed, Daniel, is interesting just because that hasn't been done for movies, and I could definitely see that being a thing. Downloadable content for films.
Definitely that.
Oh my God, we should not record this. We should not record this.
Allegedly, we were talking about this.
That is brilliant.
We could brainstorm into this even further and realize that once a movie is watched, once a series is completed, or whatever kind of film we're talking about, downloadable content would be something post movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty much like owning the disc.
Yeah.
Like, you watch the movie and then you have all the stuff. So like, if they didn't want to make it originally, you guys are saying, we like this so much, we want to create different scenarios after the movie's already out. But to me, honestly, it sounds cool. Like I said, it's kind of like from a nerdy movie standpoint, like people might actually like this, but to me, it sounds like a waste of time. Like, if I keep it really 100, this movie's done. Like, what happens if next week, everybody make sure you watch the new version of Friday. We added 17 minutes to this movie. Go peep get. Like, bro, what? Like, if I enjoyed the movie, leave it alone. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm being kind of weird about it, but
this is starting to potentially become a trend for the DC films because they're saying that the original version of Suicide Squad was much better than
what it is
than the version that we got. So
think about this. People who really enjoy movies, like the film process and stuff like that, they like movies because they're movies.
Yeah.
People who like those DC and the comic series, more than half of that fan base isn't people who just genuinely like movies.
They want to see their characters come to life.
Those are people who are loyal to the comics.
Yeah.
So the reason why there's so much pressure in that is because, well, frankly, because they're nerds. Sorry, guys. People who like just I'm just trying to be very like in layman's terms. You know what I'm saying? Nerds like this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Nerds are smart, demanding, and lazy people. I'm not trying to not in lazy, like I'm just like people who are willing to sit at home and watch stuff over and over and over because they're so dedicated to like the storyline of comic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like those are people who have a lot of time, a lot of keyboard warriors, a lot of like just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? So because it's the comic series, continuously trying to please your audience is something that is not going to stop with that genre of film. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's more like now that you guys are starting to give in to the masses and try to please everybody, get used to it because now you're not going to start making films because you're interested in the film. You're going to start making it because you're scared to displease any watcher.
Yeah.
And that's something where from an artistic side is like, well, fuck y'all then. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it in music, bro. If everybody's like, we don't like this. Can you change these bars in this song? Thank you. What? Fuck out of it. Like, that's how I see it, bro. So I think maybe it's just not registering in my mind, like how this goes on. But if you're going to go back and make scenes for movies that already exist, because either people think we need them, like we don't need them. I don't know. They're also different perspective. I'd like to bring different perspective. But go ahead.
I was just going to say they're also making it into a 4-part miniseries, kind of like that old version of It, rather than just like one long movie or whatever. It's supposed to be in 4 installments, so I don't know how long it's going to be, and it's going to be on HBO, so I'm sure it's going to be like at least an hour, if not so longer. So all that footage might be decent. It could go good. It could go terribly wrong. I have no idea, to be honest.
What about authors? you write a book and publish it, and 5 years later, like, hey guys, by the way, a new edit coming out. It's a new edit with some new this, with some new that. Like, miss me with the book.
J.K. Rowling been talking about her characters. Oh, some of them is gay, or some of them are, non-binary or whatever. Just making up stuff about her characters and putting it on Twitter.
Just be lying just to get people to go back and read the shit.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. But that's all the news we got. I don't know if you guys got anything else to add.
As soon as you said that, I started thinking, who is gay in Harry Potter? I started going through that nigga Hagrid. Never had a woman. No, I'm just I missed that part.
He actually did.
It was on the teacher, right?
The fourth movie where they had like all the teachers come in. That tall lady.
Oh, you mean was that Goblet of Fire?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Goblet of Fire. Yeah, I believe so. That super tall lady was like checking him out, and he was like, "Oh yeah," they was vibing.
Okay, well, I'm really confused, because that was my first guess, and I can't think of anybody else who possibly be gay.
Well, I think I don't know if it was the actor actually is gay that played Dumbledore, or if she tried to say that Dumbledore was gay. J.K. Rowling, I can't remember, but like she's been just making all kinds of claims about the characters.
If you ask me, they all gay. Even the guys be walking around with potions in their pocket and shit, bro. I'm cool.
Wow. Thank you.
Let me see your wand.
Speaking of Harry Potter, and that's the last thing I'm gonna say. I recently finished a series. Well, caught up to it. It's like 34 chapters or whatever. It's a manga. It's called Mashal. It's like, what if One Punch Man went to Hogwarts?
Whoa.
What? What the fuck?
This kid is born in a world where, like, if you're not born with magic, they pretty much just kill you. And he was taken by his father or his guardian, or not his father, his guardian, who like basically raised him as his son, into like the forest, and he was like outcasted or whatever, and he would never go anywhere. The first moment we're introduced to Mash, that's his name. It's called Mashal. And his name is Mash, but it's also magic and muscle like combined, so it's kind of interesting.
Bro, I can definitely think of the theme song for this right now. You put that in. Real buddy, what you want? Some violence. 2 step lay back, still wild. What up? Hey, baby, I got the potion. Take a sip of it with your weapon.
But he's so strong that it almost appears like he does magic when he's like dealing with other people. So it's actually
mud blood is what you're saying.
Yeah, like at one point, like they're like, oh, let's ride brooms. Like they're playing basically like not actually Quidditch, but a game similar to Quidditch where you're like riding on broomsticks, and he can't go into the air. So what he does is he throws his broomstick into the air, jumps on it, and then just kicks his legs really hard to like maintain the air. And he's so strong. And he's able to just take the ball and throw it and curve it so that he grabs it and he just keeps throwing it and throwing it and throwing it, scoring points. And everybody's just like amazed, like, what the fuck? Like he does a lot of crazy stuff like that. And then like he starts calling it his magic. Like he'll say like hamstring magic and he'll jump super high, stuff like that. I guess
he's just supernatural then.
Yeah, it's like he's it's
literally
so crazy,
super about his natural abilities.
Yes, it's hilarious too. He loves cream puffs. It's a great manga. It doesn't have an anime yet, but I'm sure it's going to get one. It's freaking hilarious, and a lot of people are talking about it and love it. But okay, finally, that's it. That's all we got. Polls for this week. We're going to say, who's your favorite Spider-Man?
Let's talk about your poll.
Who's your favorite Spider-Man? Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, or Tobey Maguire? Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones? And finally, and the poll that just keeps on polling, drums or flats?
I refuse. I need the whole wing, girl. I need the whole wing. You know what I'm saying? It's all attached, bro. There's a way to eat the whole wing. You just get both in one shot. But are we going to vote on this while we're recording?
Yeah, we could just go over it. So for me, I'm picking Andrew Garfield for my Spider-Man. I'm definitely picking Lord of the Rings over Game of Thrones. It's a little bit more biased for me for that. And then I'm going flats, not drums.
I'm gonna go drums, and I'm gonna throw a curveball and say Harry Potter over both of them too.
Wow.
And
you give me two options. I'm not going with either.
Kind of like the presidential election. Anyway, but and then
touche on the toupee.
And then for the Spider-Man, like I'm kind of stuck between Garfield and Holland, but I think Holland's a funnier person, so I'm gonna go with Holland.
I personally don't know either of the other two apart from the original, but I like Toby. I like his awkwardness. You know what I'm saying? Like his voice just doesn't intimidate you.
Yeah.
Even when he's got the tough look on his face, it's like, boy, I'll slap you silly. You know what I'm saying? Like I just kind of like that. Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones, I literally don't watch either. So I'm trying to figure out.
Just say it.
Why? Yeah,
well, if you watch Game of Thrones, you'll see titties. So,
drums or flats. Like I said, I like the whole wing, and flats on a wing. Flats are literally attached to the drum, and I don't know what everybody is like tripping about. But if you're a person like me who doesn't like to be a messy eater, where you like your fingers clean, and you know what I'm saying, the answer is probably drums, because flats fuck your shit up. But honestly, the meat in flats always seems to be a little less tough. I don't know why. So for the sake of this argument, I'll choose flats, but drums is not far behind. Drums are more dippable, I'll say that.
Oh, I feel you on
Get
that.
you some ranch and stuff on the stuff.
And all right, piglets, this has been another installment of Culture by the Uncultured. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Culture by the Uncultured. Remember, piglets, Culture by the Uncultured is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. We hope everyone out there is staying safe, and if you can't be safe, be deadly. Catch you guys next time. Later.